If your PPC campaigns felt more expensive last month, you're not imagining it. January 15th changed a math on every single campaign you're running, and most sellers won't notice until they burn through another 30 days of budget on campaigns that look profitable but were actually bleeding cash. We manage PPC accounts for 50 plus brands doing 7 to 8 figures a month. In the past 3 weeks, we have recalculated break-even ACoS for every single account because the old numbers don't work anymore. I'm going to show you in this video exactly what changed, why your current ACoS targets are probably wrong, and how to fix it without tanking your sales. The fix is actually simpler than you think, but it requires you to stop trusting the one metric sponsored ads tells you to optimize for. So, section 1, what actually changed? Here's what you may think happened. Amazon raised fees again. Everything's more expensive. That's just how it is. But here's what actually happened. On January 15th, 2026, Amazon increased FBA fulfillment fees by an average of 8 cents per unit. Doesn't sound like much, right? 8 cents per unit equals anywhere from 0.5% to 2% of your margin depending on your product price. That means your break-even ACoS just dropped by the same amount and you probably didn't even notice. So here's why this is different from past fee increases. Amazon didn't raise FBA fulfillment fees in 2025, but they did extend peak storage fees by a full month and changed how they calculate dimension weight. So while your per unit fulfillment cost stays flat, storage and weight rounding hit margins in ways a lot of sellers didn't catch. Then in January 15th, 2026, hit with the first actual fulfillment fee increase in 2 years, 8 cents per unit, stacked on top of those 2025 changes you might have already absorbed. Then January 15th hits, the 8 cent increase. Doesn't sound scary until you do the math. On a $30 product selling 1,000 units a month, that's $80 in extra fees. Multiply that cost against your catalog, and you're looking at hundreds and maybe even thousands in margin erosion you can't see in your profit dashboard. And this isn't just FBA fulfillment fees. Inbound placement fees got more granular. Low inventory surcharge now calculates at an FN SKU level instead of parent ASIN, which means if you stock out on one color variation, you're paying penalties even if your other colors are in stock. So if you haven't recalculated your break-even ACoS since January 14th, your targets are wrong. A campaign running at a 28% ACoS that was profitable 3 weeks ago might be losing you $15 per sale today, and Seller Central will still show it as green. Now, section 2, the CPC problem you're not tracking. Most watch ACoS like a hawk. You see it creep from 27 to 31% and you panic. But here's what you're probably not tracking. The cost per click has been rising faster than ACoS in most categories. Average CPC for sponsored products is now 91 cents to $1.21 depending on the category. And in some competitive spaces like supplements or electronics, it's $2 to $6 and it's gone up 10 to 20% in the past year alone. Here's why that matters more than ACoS. When CPC goes up, your conversion rate stays the same. You're paying more per sale, which means even if your ACoS looks stable, your actual profit per conversion is shrinking. So let's say your CPC was 80 cents last year and your conversion rate was 10%. That's $8 in ad spend per sale. Now your CPC is 96 cents, but your conversion rate is still at 10%. That's $9.60 per sale. Your ACoS might look identical if your product price didn't change, but you just lost $1.60 in profit per conversion. Stack that on top of your 8 cents FBA fee increase, and you're looking at a double squeeze. Higher fees eating margins from bottom, higher CPCs eating margins from the top. That campaign that worked perfectly 6 months ago is now underwater, and the only signal you get is when you check your monthly P&L and wonder why profit dropped. This is why we stopped optimizing purely for ACoS in Q4 2025. We started tracking CPC trends by campaign, by ad group, and sometimes even by keyword. If the CPC is rising faster than the conversion rate can compensate, we adjust bids down before ACoS even moves, because by the time ACoS reflects the problem, we already wasted budget. Now, the third section, how to calculate your new break-even. You probably learned break-even ACoS as a simple formula, and that works fine when fees were stable. But now you need to factor in fee increases as a margin hit, not just a static number in your calculation. Your old break-even formula assumed stable costs. Your new formula needs to account for the fact that the 8 cents fee increases effectively dropped your margin by 0.3 to 1.5% depending on your average selling price. So here's the math. Let's say you sell a product for $30. Your old margins after Amazon cut was 30%, so $9 profit per sale. Your break-even ACoS was also 30%, meaning you could spend up to $9 on an ad and still break even. Now, that 8-cent fee increase, that $9 margin became $8.92. Your break-even ACoS isn't 30 anymore, it's 29.7%. It doesn't sound like much, right? But if you're running at a 30% ACoS, thinking you're break even, you're actually losing 8 cents per sale. Sell 1,000 units a month and you just burn $80 in profit without realizing. For lower priced products, it's way worse. A $15 product with the same 8-cent increase loses over 0.5% of margin. Your break-even ACoS might drop from 25% to 24.2%. If you're running at a 25% ACoS thinking you're safe, you're losing $13 per 100 sales. Here's what we did for an account in January. We pulled average selling price by product. We calculated the fee impact as a percentage of price. Then we recalculated the break-even ACoS for every campaign. In most cases, the new target was 1.5 to 3 points lower than the old one. That means if you were comfortable running at a 32% ACoS before, your new safe zone is probably 29% to 30.5%. And if you don't adjust, those extra 2 points go straight to Amazon in wasted spend. Now, section 4, 3 adjustments that will protect profit without killing your volume. When costs go up, the instinct is to cut budgets across the board. Kill underperformers, low bids, pause everything above a break even, but that's how you tank your organic rank and lose the compounding traffic you've built. The smarter move here is surgical. You want to protect profit on what's bleeding and double down on what's working. Now we use 3 adjustments. Lower bids on mid-performers first, shift budgets from experimental to proven campaigns, and use dynamic bidding to auto-protect against waste. First adjustments, you want to lower bids by 10 to 20% on campaigns running between break even and 5 points above. These are the ones that feel okay but aren't killing it. They're the first place margins leak when costs rise. Drop bids just enough to bring ACoS down 2 to 3 points without destroying impression share. We did this for a brand spending $15K a month. We dropped bids on 6 mid-performing campaigns by 15%. ACoS improved from 34% to 30.5% within 10 days. And sales volume only dropped 8%. They saved $529 a month in wasted spend without sacrificing rank. Second adjustment, shift budgets from broad match discovery campaigns to exact match proven winners. When margins tighten, you can't afford to burn budgets finding new keywords. So take 20 to 30% of your experiment budget and reallocate it to campaigns with proven ROAS above the new break even. You'll sacrifice some discovery, but you'll protect cash flow. Third adjustment, switch to dynamic bidding with down-only rules. This tells Amazon to lower your bids in real time when conversion probability drops, but never raise it. You keep impression share on high intent clicks and auto-protect against low quality traffic that would have driven ACoS up. One account we managed had 3 campaigns stuck at a 35 to 38% ACoS. We switched them to down-only bidding. Within 2 weeks, ACoS dropped to 31% average with almost identical daily sales. Amazon was bidding them down on placements that weren't converting, and they never would have caught that manually. You don't need to overhaul your entire account. Pick your 3 highest spend campaigns, reallocate break-even with new fees, lower bids by 10% on anything running hot. Let it run for 10 to 14 days, then check your ACoS. If it drops without killing volume, repeat on the next 3 campaigns. Most brands can recover 1 to 3 points of ACoS across their account in 30 days just by making these small targeted adjustments. No dramatic cuts and no panic moves. So here's what it comes down to. Amazon built the ads console to show you ACoS, ROAS, and the attributed sales, but it doesn't show you the margin squeeze happening underneath. When FBA fees go up by 8 cents and the CPC rises by 15% in your same quarter, your profitable campaigns stop being profitable and the dashboard won't tell you until it's too late. Now, here's the part that makes this even more complicated. When you recalculate, break even, and adjust bids to protect margin, you're still working with incomplete data. The ads console shows ACoS and ROAS, but it can't show you which campaigns are actually introducing customers versus which ones are just harvesting demand you already created. So you might cut budgets from exact match that are feeding your bottom of the funnel conversions, and you won't know until sales drop 3 weeks later. Amazon Marketing Cloud fixes that. It shows you full path to purchase, which failing campaigns are actually doing the heavy lifting at the top of the funnel, and I just dropped a video breaking down the 5 specific AMC plays we use to cut waste and stop killing campaigns that look bad in Seller Central, but are actually funding up to 40% of your brand searches. If you're adjusting bids based on these fee squeezes, you need to see the full picture first. The link can be found somewhere above here. Hope you enjoyed and catch you on the next one. Peace.